The biggest part of racing is staying mentally engaged and not letting guys form gaps. And I did the opposite of that in that race, believe it or not. With about a quarter mile to go, the other competitor started to form a gap on me. And I was able to keep the gap a certain distance. At the base of the uphill, I saw my dad. We made eye contact, and that's almost the last thing I remember. So the ACC Cross Country Championship was last fall, and I remember it like it was just yesterday. My parents came out for the race, which is always super special for me. So I talked with Coach throughout the week about our plan going into the race. We knew who the heavy hitters were on the individual side of the race, and he said, I believe in you. I believe you can race with these guys regardless of how the race goes, whether it's slow and tactical or fast and honest. We felt like we were prepared for either race style. The course where the race was held in Virginia, we previewed it the day before, and we did a jog around the course, and I was laughing. I'm like, this course is a lot hillier than I had imagined. And I talked with my coach about it, and he said, yeah, this course is pretty hilly. If we run 450 pace tomorrow, we're gonna be in a good spot. That pace is relatively slow compared to what we have been running.
It is one of the more fascinating sights and sounds in all of sports, the opening of the 8K.
And the race starts the next day, and the first mile is 4:30. And I thought, okay, 450 pace is out the window. This is gonna be a fast race. And we ended up averaging 4:35 per mile on the day. So it turned out to be real fast despite the hills. I love a hilly cross-country course, and I think that played well into my hands. The goal is to have as much energy as possible the last lap, the last 100 meters of the race, so you can show your speed and see how well you can kick and take down as many guys as you can. The last 200 meters or so of the race was an uphill, and at the base of the uphill, I saw my dad. He just started yelling, "You got this, you just go," right? And we made eye contact, and that's almost the last thing I remember, getting tunnel vision and blacking out. And I was like, just go, whatever you have, just go. And I remember pumping my arms and picking up my knees and getting right up this hill. And at the top of the hill, I realized I was back on the other competitor's shoulder. And I thought, all right, I just got this distance back. I got this gap back. I've got a lot of momentum going into this final stretch. And at the very last bit of the race, I found, one last swing, and I was able to get around him and take the race.
Sullivan across the line. He's your ACC champion.
Crossing the line after that race and just thinking, I was almost in disbelief. We actually did it. We talked about potentially doing it, but it was one thing to actually do it. Just watching that back reminded me of, where I've been and where I've come. And I couldn't do it without the support of my teammates and coaches, right? Yes, that's an ACC individual title, but it means more than that. It was, for the guys that helped me get to that spot, right?
Let's come through.
Oh my God.
But it's gonna look like Wake Forest unofficially is.
Just reliving that moment and realizing how special that was, right? For something bigger than myself just puts a smile on my face, and I just want to keep coming back and making those people proud and doing it for those guys, so.